Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby, thanks for joining us. It's Wednesday, it's just gone 5 o'clock here in the UK and we are here for Beautiful Beginnings. A beautiful beginning to beautiful beginnings. The show where, well, we take it back to basics just a little bit, and I think this show, more than any of the beautiful beginnings we've done recently, is certainly going to do that for you, because if you are new to crafting, we have got some brilliant deals for you. A starter kit so you can get embossing, a starter kit so you can get die cutting, and a starter kit so you can get stamping. We've also got some brilliant deals as far as hero tools are concerned. We've got some brilliant bundle deals as well. So lots of different crafts that we can have a look at over the course of this show. Lots of different crafts for you to come in and buy. If you weren't watching earlier, you'll also not know that at some point later on in the show, we're going to have a little craft along together, Debbie and I. We just thought it might be quite nice. I think I'm going to do a bit of embossing and colouring just because I can. So that'll be fun a little bit later on as we get to craft along together. And of course, at the end of the show, round about 6:30 we normally do this. We'll be heading over to Essentials Corner where we will be posing your questions to Debbie tonight. So get those questions in nice and early. We've got Jan on the socials tonight. What we normally do is compile all of those questions, get them in at the end, and then we just have a nice sit-down chat, question time for the final sort of 25 minutes or so. So any questions about anything on the show, any crafty conundrums, anything you're stuck with currently, fire those questions in. And indeed, if you just want to be nosy about me and Debbie, then you can ask questions, whatever you like, really. You know, if it gets a little bit personal, we won't answer it. But I'm sure you won't. I'm sure you won't. The other big news as well as we go over to Debbie. Now, earlier on, if you weren't watching, you won't have seen the deals that we did on our 60-minute deal show. But we did some fantastic deals. It was one of the busiest shows that we've done. And there was one particular deal that was sensational. And we had a bit of a conflab, we had a bit of a meeting in between times. Everything was supposed to come off, and everything has come off from that 60-minute deal show, apart from one. And this deal, we are going to keep going just for this show because, Debbie, we thought this deal on the template library, best ever deal, would be perfect for this show. So we asked the question, we've been given 25 more of these, Debbie, to sell in this show. Yeah, absolutely. And I love that because it was one of those best deals that we've ever done on it. It's absolutely incredible. But what we was talking about after the show is it's a shame it's not in Beautiful Beginnings, because Beautiful Beginnings is just that. It's all about that beginning craft. It's all about getting started. It's all about sort of scraping it back and seeing exactly where you start. And actually the template library for me and every beginner crafter and every advanced crafter, this is where you would start to make all your makes. I mean, there is so many different projects that you can make in here. And I love the fact, and we genuinely only have 25. We've got more, but after those 25 have gone, it will go back up to the normal price. Yeah. So you can see that price there, £200 or $230. But your platinum price, I mean, is exceptional, £160 or $185. This template library, Ben, I know you love it, all the team love it. It's Craig's favourite, Debbie's favourite, my favourite, because it's one of those things, it doesn't matter which book you pick. If we picked this green one, and let's have a look at it. So let's just pop that to the side and just show you what's in here. Now, let's just have a look. I've got all these templates in here. I've got a shutter card on here. If I flick through, you've got a pop-up staircase card. I mean, just the name of that pop-up staircase card would frighten me because I would not know where to start. You would have to get all these measurements right, and all you're going to do is literally, let's say we want to make that one, we're going to take the template out, we're going to put it onto our cardstock, we're going to draw around it, then we're going to take our booklet, so each one comes, so now I've got my green booklet, I know that this is number 2, we're going to go to number 2, which is incredible because now I know that I'm going to be making this pop-up staircase card, which is amazing. And all I have to do is flip that over and it's going to give me step-by-step instructions. So this is what is remarkable about the template library. I can do that. I can then do all this. I've got all my mats and layers. I've got all my templates for everything. Inside every single template, it will tell you what card size you need to draw around, how many sheets you need. It will also tell me what my card flattens to. So this is a 5x6
5x7, and I know that I need a 5x7 envelope. So all the hard work has been done for you. Now let's just have a little flick through this green one while I've got it, just to show you some of the projects that you've got. You've got a shutter card, you've got that pop-up staircase card, apron shaped card. This one is going to be brilliant for Father's Day, especially for like the barbecue king, which would be a great one to have. You've got this one, which is a butterfly gatefold card. I mean, how amazing is that? So your folds will go like your gatefold card, which is amazing. Just flick through a few more. You've got dome chest gift boxes in here. How would you know where to start to craft that?
You'd have no clue, would you?
You would have no clue, absolutely. So you would go to your template, you would know that this is number 8, you would go to your template booklet, you would pick number 8 out of there. So that's what you do with all of them. So the fact that you've got them all is just exceptional. And then when you finish, you literally just pop these back in, and they just literally click back in. And if you keep these all in here, these are going to be amazing, because they will keep it for a long time to come. You'll be crafting for many years with the template library, but make sure you do grab it today, because there is only those 25 in this hour, in the next couple of hours.
Yeah, it's a bit naughty really, but we had that chat, so make the most. If you know someone who wants it, who you know isn't watching, just give them a shout. It is 25, that's all we can do, so take advantage. As I say, we rolled it over. It's £30 cheaper than we've ever done it before, so that's the deal basically. So we had the hour, 25 more chances, and then that will be that. So either you grab it if you've been wanting to get it, or as I say, if you know someone, give them a nudge. The next 25 people get that incredible price. After that, we have to put it back to the price it should be. A few quick hellos before we get started. We've got lovely Jan on the socials tonight, keeping us right. Hello to Jan, hello to Melanie D, hello to Cara Jameson Broughton, who says good evening everyone from a chilly Wales. Zoe Carver's in, and Brian is watching tonight as well in West Sussex. Hello Brian and Zoe, and hi to Pamela. PB Brewer Martin says hi again to Debbie and Ben and the crew and the warehouse, and Jan and all from a wonderfully warm for a change South GA. Pat Demarest says hi from New Jersey. Olga Vasquez says hi again, watching from work. Oh, shh. Are you under the desk, or are you just like on another tab? And when the bosses come by, just beep. No, I'm not watching Crafters TV. I'm working hard. Love that. Wendy's in saying hi, Ben, Debbie, CTV community, and all the crafters. Hello, hello, Trish Lestelle. Lovely Trish is with us. Stephen's in. Good evening, Ben and Debbie. Jeffrey Langley says good evening, Ben and Debbie, and the great and magnificent CTV crew. Carol Garwood Beard says hey all, around 3, woohoo. And Carol is in saying hey Jan, Ben and Debbie. Well, hello to you all. Thank you, Jan, taking care of business. So Jan will be compiling your questions. If there's anything pertinent, that's a good word, anything pertinent to the demo which is going on, then obviously we'll answer the questions there. But general questions can be about embossing tonight, about stamping, about die cutting, colouring. Yes, last week, Nicola sent in a question from the gallery asking Debbie what her favourite Emmerdale storyline was. I know. So you can have those sort of questions as well if you want.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm an open book. I'll tell you anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, pretty much ask away. I mean, we want to keep it crafty if possible, but, you know, if it ends up being, you know, what's Debbie's favourite board game? I mean, whatever you like, really. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, not only do we have a launch with Sarah, but you'll need to be in for Wake Up Call, because in Wake Up Call, we have got the preview for your cartload show tomorrow, haven't we, Debbie?
Yes, we have. Got an amazing cartload. I have to say, I've give kudos to Ben. He's put lots of ideas together, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to have it sort of a little bit of a theme. So if you know me, you'll know.
And
it's not Emmerdale themed.
Not Emmerdale themed. What I will say though, do you remember, I don't want to give too much away, but do you remember the bingo cart loads that we've done in the past? It's not a bingo cart load, but if you enjoyed those that Craig and I did, you will love what we've got lined up for you tomorrow. Did you do the second bingo cart load?
Yes, we did, yeah, we did the second one.
Oh,
yeah.
I could have sworn that was Craig twice.
No, did it the second time.
Ah. And we also did what? Who wants to do a pick on air? Who wants to win a pick on air? Oh yes, I do vaguely
I don't remember that. Who wants to pick on?
Yes, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire themed cart load we did. That one doesn't stick.
I do.
Who wants to win a pig? I don't remember that as well as the bingo. Anyway, tomorrow is going to be incredible. You need to be in Wake Up Call for the first chance to get the new launch and to pick up some of the deals from Debbie's Cartload Show. And there's something else happening tomorrow which I can't possibly tell you about, as it's a bit of a secret. As a clue there. Right, we're moving on swiftly. Before I get in trouble, pick that up as quick as you can, next 25, and the starter kit. So we are going to start with the die cutting starter kit. There is an embossing one here. We've also got a stamping one, but the most popular one today so far has been this. And basically, it is a starter kit, if you've never die cut before, with everything that you need. Obviously, you'll need your machine to go with, but it's everything. We've got cardstock in here. Ah, typical. Colour core cardstock will be, I'm going to craft with this a little bit later on actually, I think, might use this. But this is the cardstock, Debbie, that we launched with the sanding blocks, wasn't it? Because it's got a beautiful texture to it, and then when you sand it back, you've got a lighter colour, haven't you,
yeah,
inside? It's
really subtle, but it is a lighter colour, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's smooth on the other side, so if you want to stamp onto it, you can stamp onto it as well. It's amazing cardstock. I really like this one, and the fact that you're getting 24 sheets at 12 by 12 in all these beautiful colours, great buy.
And actually, you know, we call it a starter kit, so you automatically think beginners. Yes, this is for beginners, but for everyone as well, because look, you want more cardstock, even if you've been crafting for ages. These are handy tools to have. Your die brush tool, you saw Debbie using that a little bit earlier on in Wake Up Call, gets all your bits and pieces out of your dies, particularly those more intricate ones. Talking of intricacy, then you've got your dotty tape pen there, so that's absolutely perfect for, you know, sticking those more intricate die cuts. Particularly like those very sort of delicate sentiments as well. If you die cut sentiments, that's perfect for that. 3 rolls of your low tack tape, you're getting 2 to take your dies down whilst you're cutting, and then you've got a whole host of fantastic dies to go with. So this beautiful set of decorative nesting ovals, which has got the stunning butterflies cut into the outer edges of your ovals. You've then got your sentiments, so the dream sentiment, believe, love, dream. You've got a stamp in here as well. That's from our quirky stamp sets. At least it's not a gift card. The beautiful modern mosaic edgeables. Again, if you were watching earlier on, you'll have seen Debbie creating with this. 3 beautiful edgeables in there. And then you've also got the beautiful butterflies from the Colour Your World collection. That is the pretty kaleidoscope. And then, I mean, this is brilliant as well. All fairly new dies from our corner edgeable selection. This is the beautiful Into the Woods. So all of those dies in there, alongside all of the tools, alongside the cardstock. I mean, £20 barely covers the cost of the cardstock, I don't even think. So to get everything else in there for that price is incredible. $85.90 is what you should pay, $115.50 at 66. It's this price here for you, £20 or $28. And as we've said, later on in the show, Debbie, we're going to just have a bit of a crafty time, aren't we, using the different starter kits together?
Yeah, absolutely. Are we crafting both over here? Are we crafting together or are we crafting separately?
I think I might stay over this side.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Because it would be a bit tight otherwise, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And then if I get stuck, I can go and bring my thing.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm really looking forward to that because I think that's exactly what Beautiful Beginners is all about. So, and even though I wouldn't say Ben is now a beginner crafter, because I think you've been crafting long enough to know what you're doing, I think you're one of these people that gets a bit stumped for ideas.
Yeah.
So it's knowing what to do with everything, isn't it?
I can follow you now if you do something.
Yes.
But I find it very difficult to kind of go, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I'll probably have to copy a design off a packet or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or copy what you do.
But it's not a problem, is it? Because it just means that's where we get started. So, but this kit, I mean, honestly, the prices of these is a little bit bonkers because you are getting an absolute starter kit. I think just to have a paper pad in this and then to have all your additional elements like your tool brush, your tape pen, which I'm really shocked that we're putting these are our everyday toolkits that we use every day. And I love that we've put them in there for you. And you've got everything. So you've got your tool brush, you've got your tape pen. These are all your consumables that you use all the time. So it's great to have them. I thought we'd have a start with having a look at the die cut in this tree because this is a beautiful die. So for anyone that's not seen our creator card dies or our edgeable dies, this is what they do. They create the whole front of the card. And then I thought, well, actually, we've got this pad. Let's cut into this and show how we can make this look really different. So I'm actually going to cut into a green piece of card. So let's just take that one and show you how you can colour it as well. So I'm just going to take that off. Now, because this is a creator card, you could, if you wanted to, fold over like so and create the entire front of the card. So actually, let's do that. I'm being really naughty, I've not even used a scoreboard, but because the scoreboard is not in here, I wanted to show you how good this card is just at folding and burnishing. Because a lot of cards that you do, and this shows the quality of this, would be all cracked and it would be sort of feathery, and it's not. That's without a scoreboard. So I'm just going to do that, and then we're going to bring in our guillotine, and I'm just going to trim that down. So let's do we'll do a 5 by 7. So I'm just going to bring it to 5 inches and by 7. So a regular size sort of card. So that gives me a card blank. Now it's a little bit less weight than what we would generally have for a card blank, but if I stand it up, that's still a good weight for your card.
Yeah.
And what that also means is it's a great weight for die cutting as well. So if you want to die cut, I would say you don't want to use less than this, which is 216. You can die cut onto papers, but actually having a bigger weight of stock just helps with the rigidity.
Yeah.
So now this one is going to cut, oh actually I should have thought about what the die was. So this one, I'm going to pop here, we're going to cut some of our card off. So I'm going to do this to 5 and, I think that's 5 3/4. So I'm just going to trim that down a little bit more. So we've got 5 3/4. So that's just going to give me a smaller size of card. And with any edgeable die, you'll have a little marker. So this little marker is showing you where it's going to die cut to the top of your card. And then at the bottom, your die cut will go along the bottom. So we're literally going to take that right to the bottom and there. We can always trim off the excess.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to hold that down with our low tack tape. So that's what you're getting. You're getting 3 reels of that. And our low tack tape is very good. It's really good at sticking things down, but it can become a bit sticky in the die cutting machine. So make sure that you're putting it onto a place that's going to be taken away.
Yes.
And then as we've got, oh, in fact, I better use my bigger plates because of what we're doing. And then we're just going to run that through.
Whilst you're running it through, you can say hi to Melanie. She says, I bought the template library when it was launched and I love it. I use it when I want to make something but not sure what. I can always find something in the library that inspires me. Hi Trish, hi Vanessa Fuentes, Helen Stewart, hi Ben, Debbie and all my friends, and Jan. Missed the earlier shows today. I've had to go to a funeral, but I'm looking forward to beautiful beginnings. Mary Beth Doyle says hi. Jennifer McNeil says, I just received the rocker blocks. What a game changer. I thought I was a horrible stamper unless I used my platform, but all I needed was the right tools. Perfect from the very first time, you say. And hello to Lainey, who says, I love your paper pads. They are awesome.
I love that. That's such a nice testimony to the rocker blocks because of our stamping platforms, they don't get used so much anymore.
No.
So yeah, I absolutely love that. Right now, once you've got all your bits in your dies, and I know that I am sort of very naughty that I would sort of just hit mine down on the counter, but I want to show you.
Not on beautiful beginnings, remember Debbie?
Absolutely, it's beautiful beginning. So we are going in with our die brush.
Let's start you right.
And taking out all of those pieces. And you can see, apart from a few in there, it's going to take out all of those bits in there, like that. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. So your die brush is brilliant. It comes with a, oh, and actually I've got some in there. Now, I don't like using the foam, but you can just use it over your fingers. And that will still sort of take those bits out.
You don't use the foam because you don't like the feel of it, is that right?
Don't like the feel of it, yeah. When I was younger, I had really sensitive skin.
Yeah.
And foam used to give me a rash.
Is that right?
So plasters, I couldn't use plasters, they would give me a rash. And when I touched foam, like if my mum used to wash me when I was little with a sponge, it used to bring me up in a rash.
That's so strange.
Yeah, so I think just over time I developed a bit of a fear to foam, so I don't use it at all anymore.
What did you put on your finger then when you cut your finger?
So as I've got older, my skin's not so sensitive.
Oh, right.
So
you can use
yeah,
plasters.
so now it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I use plasters now. Yeah, but I never used to. I used to have to. In fact, the doctor used to prescribe. I don't know if they still do. He used to give me special plasters. There must have been something in them.
Sensitive ones, maybe.
So yeah, I had different plasters. So right, I'm just going to use my tri-blend brush. Actually. Oh, I just realised I'm going to use that instead because these are in the show as well.
They are.
So I'm just going to bring them into here and I'm going to use the brown. So we've got the earth brown in here. So you can literally, I'm going to go in with the mid colour, I think. And I'm just going to go over. Now, even though this is green, it means I can still colour where I want that brown to go. So we're just going to come down the edge. And this is a really nice way of just adding a lovely outline to our die. Let's go across there. And we're literally just going to colour all that outline in. And because it's already green, we're going to leave where our leaves are because the leaves are already naturally green. But if you did want to give them a different colour green, you've also got a green in that panel as well.
Lots of love for the rocker blocks coming in. Helen says, love mine. Only use the stamping platform for larger stamps or more intricate ones. They both got their kind of points where you'd use them, wouldn't they? If you can have the platforms and the rocker blocks, you're good to go, really, aren't you?
I use both of mine all the time.
Yeah.
So if I want to use, if I want to create a background, I always use my rocker blocks. I think they're absolutely brilliant. I remember rocker blocks, I think rocker blocks had already been out for quite, I think when I joined Crafters Companion.
Oh, okay.
And I remember saying to Leanne, I'm not a stamper. I don't like stamping because I couldn't get it right. And she said, oh, try the rocker blocks. And it was like, it completely changed the way that I stamped.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I remember going to demo days and people saying the same to me, like, oh, no, we're not stampers. We don't know buy stamps. And then I taught them how to use the rocker block. And again, it just means that then you can start a new journey of crafting. So, yeah, rocker blocks are brilliant.
Hi to Sandy, who's joined us from Smock PA. Looking forward to the Crafty Friends with Ben and Debbie. Loads of love coming through today. Don't forget to keep those questions coming. I can't believe we're nearly 25 minutes into the show already. And in about an hour's time, we will need questions, please. And it always happens that we'll get sort of 9 or 10 lined up. And then everyone piles in with questions when we're sat down, and then we have to rush through them at the end. So get them in now, because I do always read them out in the order that they come in. So first come, first served. And any questions you like, really, nothing is off limits. Hi Mary Pat, you've joined us from a sunny and freezing Montana. Just to say as well as we're watching Debbie, don't forget we have brought the template library back for you just for this show, or whilst we still have the 25 that we were given to let you have at that price, basically £30 off the usual best before price. 25 people in this show will have the opportunity to pick it up at that price that we did it for within our 60-minute deals. I think it'll probably be on Shop the Day still, I think, if you want to pick it up. Or indeed, you can just have a little search for it. It's at top of Shop the Day, and I've just been informed we now have just 23 of these remaining in the show. So, and that's all we will have. Okay, once those 23 go, it will drop off the web, or it will go back to the usual price, I should say. So take advantage.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to leave it there because we've got lots to show you in the show, but I just want to show you that with a bit of card behind it. Look how amazing that makes that tree pop on the edge. And literally, it's just cutting out the cardstock that comes in that pack, using that die, and you're using your pens that are coming in our stamping bundle as well. But just a really clever way to do it. You literally just would have a sentiment on there, and that's all you need. So absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And it's just a great bundle to have, so love this one.
Yeah, thank you to Jade, who's been in touch saying, I'm loving the rocker blocks, especially after being a die-hard mounted rubber stamp user. Yeah, again, I remember when I got into the crafty game all those years ago, the majority of the stamps then were like on mounted on like a wooden block. You had loads of space for them, didn't you, back in the day, all those stamps. I use rocker blocks for sentiment, says Hilary. It is easier for smaller pieces of card. All good to know. And always as well in this show, in the comments, if you are a more experienced crafter, feel free to sort of share your tips and feel free to kind of, you know, chat with others and let them know what works best for you, because that's what this show is all about. So that is your die cutting starter kit, £20 tonight, 28 bucks. Just again, well, I'll show you again in a minute, but you're going to get all of the goodies in there, all the dies, the glue tape pen, the low tack tape, and of course that colour core cardstock, easy for me to say. We've also got tonight, as we always do on Beautiful Beginnings. Actually, do we always do this on Beautiful Beginnings? I feel like, oh, we do it, do we? I feel like a hero tool is like a Monday Makers thing. But never mind, we're doing it on Beautiful Beginnings tonight, because we can. Tonight's hero tool, talking about all things stamping, is your 6x6 stamping platform. So if you go for the stamping starter kit that we've got on the show, you will receive the rocker blocks. Then you have got your stamping 6x6 platform. These are brilliant again, Debbie, aren't they? Because they allow you to be precise, and you've got the spring-loaded feet on these as well, haven't you?
Yeah, and again, these are really good if anybody has any dexterity problems, because the pressure you put down on it, you don't have to put a lot of pressure. You literally press it down and it does the stamping and all the hard work for you. And it's got a grid on it, which is even better. So if you've got sentiments or verses you want to stamp, you literally line them up on the lines.
Yeah, really, really super simple. And I love the fact that you can get this tonight for just $8.99 or $11.99. Bearing in mind the Hero Tool deals are always just for 24 hours. So that will have been on since 8 o'clock this morning. So you'll have until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, UK time, to pick that up. So you've got 14 hours left. Put up a clock. No, don't bother. 14-hour clock, $8.99 or $11.99. We will have just a break in a second, but before that, wowee, are we really getting all of these? Yeah, 11-piece collection. How about, I mean, you could argue that this should have been the 60-minute deals. How about being able to create beautiful projects like this with your beautiful shimmer sprays, for example, with all of these beautiful masks. So these cards have been created with this bundle. We are about to show you here 11-piece collection of all these stunning masks for £12 or $17.60. That is incredible. Oh, I love these echinaceas. Look at those, absolutely beautiful. $43.89 is the normal price here, or $65.45. You're going to get all of these within the collection. So peacock feather, beautiful butterflies in there. You've got your sort of standard feather, I suppose, if you want to call it that. You've got your beautiful decorative lotus, echinacea, the Yorkshire flower. Echinacea. You've got your roses. You've got the beautiful blossom in there as well, that cherry blossom. Quick, simple card making again, this, isn't it, with your masks? Like, if you love using stencils, then, you know, masks I kind of think is probably something you're already using. But if you're not, look, this amazing little template here helps you to create a beautiful project like that. Great for Valentine's. That's a week away, isn't it? Where's that come from? Dandelion clocks. Beautiful peony in there as well. And then you've also got your stunning swirls in there. So all of those 11 masks for just £12 or $17.60. Great buy on those. Good evening to Doreen, who's joined us for the third time today. I've been working on the rocker blocks, says Carol, and finally think I figured them out. Lol. And Zoe says, if the stamping platform and rocker blocks were around years ago, I wouldn't have given up stamping anything more than sentiments and shoved them in a cupboard for 20 years. Now, you say, I have the right tools. Well, listen, we're going to have a short break, give you opportunity to get your carts and your baskets checked out. Don't forget, if you want that template library, which we'll be looking at in just a second, we have 23 more of those at that price, best ever price before the price goes back up again. So this might be the opportunity for you to get yours checked out, and keep those questions coming in as well. We're about an hour away from Essentials Corner. What do you want to know? What do you want to ask? Get the questions in. And of course, Debbie and I will be doing a bit of crafting together in about half an hour's time. For that template library, and before that break, we'll see you in a moment.
Hi everybody, this is Lynn Bledsoe. You asked me why I like or I love Crafter's Companion. Well, it's because I'm not a very good crafter, and Crafter's Companion makes me look better. It makes me look like a better crafter than I am, because I'm not good at design. So I have the layout collection that helps me with design. I don't like to do the same thing over and over. So I have a template library that gives me lots of new ideas and card bases and things to try. I never know what to put on the inside of the card, so I have the compendiums that have all the sayings for cards, and I never know what color combinations to put together and what goes with what, and so all their collections make it easy for me to know what to do. So that is why I love Crafter's Companion, because they make me look like a better crafter and give me ways to do things that I haven't tried before. Thanks, bye.
I like to get up, chill, relax, get a cup of tea, then get myself sorted. And if I'm presenter, I'll write all my notes. If I'm the demonstrator, I'll get my prep out, have another look at it, make sure that everything is the way it needs to be for the show, do the show. Then what I'll do is I'll grab something to eat, then have another look at the sheets again, making sure the next show's all good to go. Then we do that show, tidy. I always like to make sure that the area is nice and tidy, either for myself the next day or whoever's in. Jump in the car, head home. I will quickly unpack what I need to unpack, and then I get on that sofa as quick as I can. As soon as we go live, I love that within our live shows, I always get butterflies. As soon as we get that countdown in our ear that we're just going live, butterflies kick in, and within about 10-15 seconds, I'm going. Butterflies have gone, and we just enjoy the show. Early riser. Oh, shower in the morning. Tea. Oh, savoury breakfast. Masterclass. My mobile phone. Oh, anything with chicken. Currently, it is the weekend, Blinding Light, and it has been for about a couple of years, and I still love it. Apart from jumping in the car, chilling on the sofa, watching TV.
Hi, my name's Amelia Sirocco. Ben challenged us to write a limerick, and he sang mine on Crafters TV, so I'm giving it another go. Advance notice, producer Johnny, sorry. When Sarah was gone, we were sad, but now she is back and we're glad. Showstoppers each day say what? Shout hip hooray, my packages are on their way. Thanks for all you do.
Love all of these so much. Hello, all of you that have just joined us. Hi to Rosalind, hi Zoe, hi Carol and Jane and Hilary and Mary Pat. It is Beautiful Beginnings. We're already like 35 minutes into the show, bizarrely. I don't know where the time goes here. Still to come though tonight, Essentials Corner. Get those questions filed in, please. Also, Debbie and I are going to be just having a bit of fun crafting in probably about half an hour or so. I'm going to have a go. Making something. I don't quite know what yet. Depends what pops into my creative, crafty mind. I'm sure whatever it is, it'll be a masterpiece. It'll probably be like pretty decent, be all right, won't be anything special. But I'm going to have fun with it, and that's the whole point with these starter kits, and that's the whole point of Beautiful Beginnings, having a go, getting started. But before that, let's talk about the deal that we managed to roll over for you from our 60-minute deal show, template library. Debbie's going to go through this with you, but again, we had a chat, and it was like, this is the perfect thing to have on Beautiful Beginnings, because it is a perfect beginner's tool, if you like, allowing you, even if you've never crafted before, to make the most exceptional projects. Just to stress again, we've got, I think, about 23 of these now left at this price. It's the best ever price. We've taken an extra £30 off the price that it usually is. and we've got a handful of these remaining. So it's the next 22, 23 people get this price. Once those have gone, the price will revert back to where it should be. So let's have a good look at this with Debbie. You look like you're all set and ready to craft over there.
I've literally just took one out, so I've took the orange one out, and I thought I would just recap on what it's all about. So you can see it in front of me here. The very first one that come out, you're getting the most in, and you're also getting your die set as well. I'm not sure if the die set is in here. No, I don't think it is. But you do get a die set with this as well. So even though we say you don't need a machine to go with it, if you've got a die cutting machine, then the template library is brilliant for adding all those extras on as well.
Yeah.
But I've just took the orange one out, and I thought we'd have a flick through, show you some of the things, because things like this, the hexagon petal card, that's quite a tricky one to do. I mean, to have that and be able to craft with it and get all the measurements, but you've got the template to do it, tells you all your score lines that you do, and literally you make it up, which is amazing. So literally just flick through, decide which one you want to use. Well, I'm just going to go through. Let's have a look. Do I want to do the cat maybe? Oh, let's do this box. I like the square base gift box. I wanted to do one that looks a little bit trickier. So this one, because of the base of it, could be a bit tricky to do, but because we have all our templates, that's number 13. I couldn't speak then.
Are you all right?
Yeah, do you know when you just can't speak?
Can't get your words out.
I was like, number 30, so 11, 12, oh, it's the big one. There we go, that big one there. Now, what you're going to do is take it from the top nearest where you pull it from and just pull it down, and that will come out lovely, and then all of those will stay intact, and then you just pop it back in when you're finished. So we're going to take this one. Now, it tells me on here that I need a bag and base of 2 sheets of 8 by 5 and 11. So that's to do the bag and bag base. So this is the base. It tells me on here that's the base, and this tells me this is my sheet, so I've got to do that, and I've got all these different embellishments as well. Also, you get all your mats and layers which tell you where they are, and also it tells me my cut lines, my score lines, so it really is so simple. And then if I turn this over, this will tell me exactly how to do it all. Now, because we've got the pad on the show with the core cardstock, I thought I might as well just use that.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn it over onto the lighter side to draw my template onto there to start with. So actually, if you've got a 12 by 12 sheet, that is going to take everything you need, because that is 12 by 12. So I can do my base, I can do my embellishment tags, I can do these bits here, and I can do my main template. So let's start with just filling in our lines. So all we're going to do is literally go around and just draw all those lines in. If you've got one of the sewing heat eraser markers, you can use that.
In stock, I think.
Yes, they are, absolutely. Well, they were last week, I think, so hopefully they still are. So I'm putting all these lines in, even the cut lines, because we can refer back to this afterwards. And then I'm making sure that we put in all the score lines as well. So it's just a case following
they might not
these.
be in. Might have sold out last week.
They might have sold. They do sell out all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so clever, aren't they? And then we've got these diagonal lines as well. So we're literally going to go to that diagonal line.
So it literally tells you like what's the fold line, what's like a...
Tells me what my score line is. Tells me what my cut line is. Tells me what my mats and layers are. So yeah, absolutely amazing.
And realistically, Debbie, just whilst we're watching you, what else do we need then? Like if we are getting this as a first-time crafter, you don't need a machine, do you? But so what else do we need?
So all you need is a pencil and some glue.
Okay.
I would say tape pen.
Yeah.
Yep, would be perfect. Let's cut one of the tags as well while we're here. It really is, once you've got it. So we know this is a considered purchase. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, I've just seen, I missed that line.
Not as considered though.
Do in the middle.
As it was.
But yes, not as considered as it was, absolutely not. So there you can see how quick and simple that was. Now, because I've got a lot of straight lines on there, you don't need to, because you can just use your scissors. Oh, and scissors you would need. Yeah. But I am just going to use my, so I'm just going to do that really gently there. Just go a little bit in. I always do a little bit at a time just to make sure I've got that exact. But yes, so I'm using the guillotine, but yeah, absolutely you can use your scissors. They're going to be perfect. And then I'm just taking that line down. It's a little bit different in that one. There we go, a little bit more. so, and then I'm just going to do that end panel, and then we can do the rest with scissors. Well, actually, I could just take that panel off there. So, and this is just making it sort of quicker and easier really, but it's not needed. You can just do scissors.
Yeah. This is a good question actually. I nearly asked you. So Anita's asking about GSM. So obviously you're using this colour core, which is 216.
Yeah.
What would be the ideal card weight to work with these?
So depending on your project, it can be anything then. So
Right.
I would say for boxes, and you can see here, there's a cracker. I would say any weight from 160 upwards.
Okay.
Even to 300 GSM. So if you're doing card bases, I would definitely say that your GSM is better in a higher weight. The other thing that you might need is a scoreboard, because the scoreboard is going to put all your score lines in. But actually, if you've got a scoring tool, some people use the backs of pens. They're not tools. There's always ways to put those score lines in. And actually, if you're really good with scoring, you could just fold the lines, because this cardstock is really good. But actually, your scoreboard is a brilliant one to have. So I would say, if you're going to add anything to your template library, you definitely want just some glue, some cardstock, and some scissors and a scoring board.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to do is literally score those lines. And because we have, I forgot to put that line in there, but it's fine. Because we have the scoreboard, I'm just going to refer back to this because I'm just checking. Oh, it didn't have a score line there, so I was okay to do that. I thought it had a score line this side as well, but it doesn't. So that one just onto there. Now, a little tip here, when you want to do these diagonal lines, if you go down to the line where you want to do your line from and twist your card round, you can then line that up and then just go really gently before you then put your main line in, because that will give you then your diagonal score line. So right to that centre, and then twist it again till you get to your next point here. And then just go up really gently to check that you're going in line with that score line.
Yeah.
And then you can do the other way. And there we can see that's going to go straight down to that score line. And then we had this one up here, didn't we? So just going down to that line, and then, oh, that's not the right way. Let's do, hang on, let's start again. So come down from your 4, down to that section, then move that round.
Yeah,
there we go.
There we go.
That's it. And then that will put in that score line. And then we want the one at the edge here. So that one is just an inch in. So we're going to go all the way along there. And these score lines will all be on the inside. So you won't need to worry about sort of taking those lines out anyway, because you're not going to see them. So if I bring my template back in, so let's put it this way round so you can see, it tells me that my cut lines are here, here and here. So I know these can be cut. And can you see here, there's nothing here. So I know this can be cut out.
Right.
So we're going to turn that round. We're going to just bring in our scissors, and I can cut that line away, like so. And this will end up being my tab, so you can always just come in a little bit there. And then the same with this top line. I know that this one can be cut away, so I'm going to slightly bevel that one and then take that one out. And then our cut lines are 3 here, so they're going to go to that piece, right up to the middle, and then here as well.
Okay.
Like so. And then this one at the top is also a cut line, which is this one. So we will cut that one as well. just like so. So once we've got all our score lines, let me bring this back in so you can see. It's telling me once we've got all those to then trim it all out. So this tells me where to cut it out. So this should look just like that one. So you can see we've got the tabs on the end here, same as this one. And then, so this one is telling you to cut and then to score. I've scored and then cut, but it's absolutely fine. And then it's telling me to fold and burnish the lines and bring all the edges together. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's fold it over to start with. Now this is a really good tip here, Ben. If you bring this over, this should match your other side perfectly. So just even if it's a bit wonky, you can manipulate it to fold properly.
Okay.
And then we've got our side lines, which is going to be the ones that the tab that's going to hold it together. And then these are your bottom pieces. So we're going to bring these up and just pop those across like so. And then we've got another two. Oh, I haven't got a score line in there, so let's just pop that score line in. I thought I did that one. So let's just bring that back in and just bring that score line across. And then all we're going to do is fold that one in, fold that one in, and then we've got these tabs at the top here. Now they're going to be the pieces that hold your box together. Oh, look who's in the building. Hello, lovely lady.
Oh, good on, Megan. I was just going to give you a kiss and a cuddle, and I was going to do
one of those.
I was going to do it while you were on the close-up so that nobody knew. I heard you've had a busy day.
I thought she'd come to tell us off because you might not know. Look at the price of the template
Debbie,
library.
what are you doing?
Oh, sorry. I thought that's what she was
What are you
coming in for. It's the first
Debbie.
time we've took £30 off the actual price.
Debbie!
And the platinum.
Debbie!
I told you I was an open book.
Just shush! All right, sorry, you probably need to be, you need to go. You've got a busy day tomorrow.
I'll see you all tomorrow.
You see Sarah tomorrow. What are you doing?
Sorry.
Dear, oh dear.
I told you I'm an open book. I give everything away, don't I? Right, so all I'm doing now is continuing with those score lines and just folding them. And these are going to give me that front piece. Like so. So then what we're going to do, when you fold this bit over, that meets exactly there. So we're going to use this tab to then put our glue on. So where's my tape pen? There we go. So we're just going to use that tape pen along the bottom. So all the way down, make sure you put plenty on. You could use a wet glue here, but actually our tape pens are super strong that they're going to hold this lovely. So burnish it down with your fingers to start with. And I say that because if you heat up the glue, it actually makes it a bit more sticky.
Yeah.
And then we're going to use our scoring tool. So can you see how that is coming together?
You sound like Debbie was DJing then.
Yeah.
Lol.
And then this bit at the bottom it's just so clever how this has been engineered. So literally that's going to go in like so. This is going to fold in. Look how well that matches in. Absolutely perfect. So then what we're going to do, we're going to pop this together. So I'm going to, in fact, I am just going to use my tape pen. So just to put a little bit of glue there. Don't need a lot because you've got your base then to add to the rigidity. So let's just put a little bit more just to hold that together. So that's going to go in. We're going to square that off perfectly, and that one, like so. And then if you turn that over, either the back of your scissors or a ruler, just go down to burnish that in. And then we've got, where's the piece? There it is. This piece that we cut off, so this bit here, that's going to fit perfectly over the bottom like that. So we can glue that one into place, just across each corner. And that one, we're going to make sure that our box then is securely down and it doesn't look like you've made any sort of workings on there at all. That's absolutely perfect. So what you've got is your faceted box there.
That's brilliant.
And then you've got, so I didn't fold those, but if you fold them a bit more, so let me just turn those over a bit, and that one, just so you can see the fold line more than anything else. Like so. So when you pop them together, Ben, now this is the magic of this. Look, that box is completely shut.
Yeah.
You push the sides in and it just pops open.
Ah, yes.
So literally, you pop your bit there, pop it open,
That's
and then
brilliant.
you've got your little box. So you'll decorate that, obviously. You've got your little tag to cut out and put on there. But if I bring my template in, you'll see it matches that box. Look at that.
It's just
And that's
fantastic.
from start to finish.
And the thing to say again, Debbie, is that, you know, there are projects for boxes, projects for cards, projects for envelopes, and, well, it's made easy for everybody, as you've just seen there. You don't need to have, like, any level of experience to use these, do you? So, again, for beginners, jump in and grab at this price. And there's 120 across the set, isn't there?
There is 120, and that means there's 120 videos that our Craig has done, giving you all the inspiration and showing you how to make every single one of these, which is unheard of before in the land of craft, that we would do 120 projects and have every single one of them out there for you to replicate and have someone like Craig to follow along with, which is remarkable, because actually, if we're honest, you're probably going to take years to get through that 120 projects, but you've got them at your fingertips, and I think that's amazing. So yeah, make sure you grab this one, because it is such a good one to have.
And you've got a decision to make really here. So I think there's about 21 of these left now. So grab them whilst you can. I love that. Stephanie says, captured, Ben. And Victoria says, oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Like siblings, you two telling Mom that the other one has been naughty. I mean, what is she like? Just blabbing the whole secret out.
Oh no, I've just done that.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. You've got 22 more chances to buy. I'm hearing, right? So that price, once the 22 go, then it will go back up. So have a think. If you haven't yet got the template library, think about grabbing it today, because it's going to be in stock tomorrow, right? It will be in stock tomorrow, but that will be the price there, not that. And it's the first time we've ever taken an extra £30 off. So it's over to you. Do you want that ease of card making, that ease of construction, that ease of box making? You know, if you are a beginner, and yes, it is a considered purchase, not as considered as it normally is, but it is considered. But what a way to get started. And like Debbie said, all you need really is something to score with, something to cut with, something to glue with, and obviously your cards start to go with it. But it's a great system to allow you to start making 120 different projects straight off the bat. Have a think, 20 odd chances to get it. It's over to you really on that one. Sandy says, Debbie is calm and patient. I would have a cut on a scoreline by now. And Melanie said, these are brilliant for travel. I took a couple of templates and instructions in my carry-on to do with my granddaughter. Didn't have to pack any other supplies. And Stephanie says, you need the disappearing ink pens. Sold in soft craft. There is a red, blue and black, one colour for cutting, one colour for scoring. Heat tool erases the lines. Yes, they will be back in stock with us, I'm sure, in the not too distant future. Whilst you get your hands on that, of course, we've got the Embossing Starter Kit as well. 3 starter kits on this show, with it being Beautiful Beginnings. So we've done the die cutting kit. There is a stamp kit. This is your embossing starter kit as well. And again, it's thorough. It's loads of embossing folders. It's all of the ink pads that you would need as well, plus the tools to go with. So what you're going to get, and again, the price is ridiculous here. For £20 or $28 instead of $65.91 or $83.79, you're going to get your embossing board. If you go back to Wake Up Call this morning, you'll see Debbie demoing this, making the beautiful little... it's like a little bag that you can create with this, but all of these other elements that you can emboss with as well onto your projects. Fits brilliantly as well into your Ultimate Pro if you've got one of those already. You get 4 then embossing folders from all relatively new collections. So the Woodland Foliage collection includes a 3D embossing folder with a die cut, so you can cut this element out here and then emboss it. Looks absolutely fantastic. Use the 3D folder on its own if you wish. Then you've got the Majestic Unicorn. Creates this beautiful 3D unicorn icon. The Holly and the Ivy 2D embossing folder, which is that beautiful sort of old-fashioned musical script. And then from the Vintage Vegas, you have got your Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades 2D embossing folder with, funny enough, the Ace of Spades on it. And you're going to get three ink pads as well. You've got all, they're all in the opaque pigment, so brilliant to blend with, brilliant to do your heat embossing techniques with as well. You've got Plum Jam, Oasis, mad for it, and frosted jade. She's there. And then you've also got your round blending tool as well. So it's a really good kit to get you started. 20 quid, brilliant, right? And if you are a beginner, off you go. If you're still someone who's been crafting a long time, what an opportunity to pick up 4 amazing embossing folders. You'll need more blending tools, you'll need more ink pads. Nice to have that additional embossing board there as well. It's a kit for everybody, not just for people who are starting off. And at that price tonight, why would you not? We're going to have a look at this with you, Debbie, aren't we?
Do you know what? I'm just looking at that. For these 3 ink pads, that's £18.
Yeah.
£18. So for everything else, you're paying £7 for, or £2 platinum. I mean, it's crazy, crazy value. And I just think what a lovely surprise you will have when you get all these in. To have our pigmented ink pads, and no word of a lie, they are my favourite.
Yeah.
I make no bones of that. I think they're absolutely brilliant. To have all these colours, the frosty jade makes me laugh, because I don't know about you, Ben, but the other morning when I come out and my car was frosty, I was like, oh, it's frosty jade out
Frosty
here.
jade.
And I thought, where did that come from? Why am I saying that? But having, yes, and my new tool, my circular tool.
Yes, you've got that heated tool,
yeah.
haven't you? Is it heated?
No, it's not heated. It's literally a cheap bit of plastic, but it really works. It's so good. When it's next frosty, I'll do a video of me just doing it. So, yeah, because it's really funny. And this board is superb. So, yes, if you go back to Wake Up Call, this was the box we made, literally through it. So it's got the little heart on top. I've glued it shut now so you can see the heart. But literally, this is one box that you make on here. And then it's got all your additional little panels to be creative with. And then on the back, you've got these huge, I mean, you've got 29 centimetres, 42 centimetres and 52 centimetres. Then your hearts, you've got 19, 36 and 54 centimetres to make huge embellishments, or card blanks, or just putting these embossed detail onto your boxes, which would look amazing. So absolutely love this. Love this board. Then you've got all these embossing folders. So I thought, let's have a play and show you some different ways of how you can emboss. And I was a bit naughty earlier. I took one of the handmade papers that we have from 60-minute deals. Sorry, because I know that it's... The thing is, we sold
Lots
so
of
many of
them.
Yeah, that you bought them, so I thought we'd use them, but the 60-minute deal has gone off now. So I thought I would show you how beautiful this embosses, because it is absolutely lovely. And then I've just got some other mediums. So I've got black, I've got some mirror cards, so always a good way to do it. And I think... I didn't have no white card, but I'll just bring in some white card and show you how we can do some letterpressing as well. So let's pop that to the side. Let's start with this one, just to show you basic embossing and how you can just emboss a simple piece of lovely mirror card. If you went for the Violet Studio collection of papers yesterday, imagine having all this mirror card that you had in that pad, and your pearlized ones that are going to look amazing with this. Now, this is a 2D embossing folder, and I think most of them, that's a 2D one as well. We'll do a 2D one. I'm going to do that on black card. Let's have that one. And you've also got the Majestic Unicorn, which is your 3D. And you've got a 3D one in this one. And actually, this is a die and embossing folder, and it's stunning. So I'm going to show you that one as well. So let's do... Oh, and we have to show the Majestic Unicorn. Actually, I suppose we could do that. I'm not sure how much it will show up on here, but we could do it on our
I think I'm going to use that embossing folder and I make my little card in a minute.
It's so lovely, isn't
it?
it? Really, really lovely. So let's pop that onto there. Let's get that so we can just do it so it looks like the face of the unicorn is going through that pink rose. There we go. Right, so we've got all the different embossing folders and we've got the dies. So actually, I'm going to use my white cardstock just to cut out the die to start with. So let's just use that one, because this one, although you can use the embossing folder to just emboss, you've got a die to start with that you can use to cut out and then emboss, and boy is it beautiful. So we're going to pop that one through, and then because that's a die cut, that's just your normal die cutting, and then I'm going to show you a platform because it's beautiful beginnings. We go back to the beginnings. So for your 3D embossing folder, which is this one here, you're going to need a different platform to your 2D embossing folder. So we're going to use our plastic shim, our magnetic, then your card, and whatever medium on top, and then your top cutting plate on top of that. It's the only time we tell you to use a different platform and not your cutting plate on one side, but your plastic shim is tough enough to go through. Never put your magnetic shim on the bottom or the top, because that might get caught up in the machine, so you don't want to do that. So let's have a look at this to start with. Oh my goodness, look at that. How amazing does that look? Can't really see it so much here, but me looking down on it, it looks incredible. So yeah, you get this a level of embossing on there. Imagine colouring that as well, just putting colour. Look at that.
I love the fact that you've got like the flower colour onto the horse's snout there. It's amazing.
It's so clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and that's handmade papers embossed, so that looks beautiful. Now, because it's handmade paper, you can still put ink over the top. So let's just say I want to use my plum jam, because you do get your ink applicator as well. So your ink applicator comes with one ink that's already on there. It just comes off, and then if you want to use a different colour, it comes with an additional one. So let's just pop that over the top. So let's just say we want to make that a little bit brighter over the face, coming over there, and literally we're just touching the top, and this shows how beautiful it embosses just by applying this over the top and really bringing out that unicorn's face. Absolutely stunning.
Just to say, we got loads of questions for Essentials Corner. We've got 12 already lined up.
Oh, very nice.
Now, we've got more questions, I think, than probably we've got chances to buy that template library, because that's proving busy again. So if you want to grab that, quick as you can, because as I say, we've got a limited quantity available in this show. Must say hi to Evelyn, who's joined us from Colorado, and some bloke called Al says good evening to Debbie and Ben.
Al's in tonight, is he?
Yeah.
He's looking rather dapper. He's had a haircut today.
Oh, is he? What did he go for?
Just short back and sides.
Short back and sides,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
There we go, we've got our lovely unicorn there.
Beautiful,
so that's just
that.
one way to put your ink on top. Now let's go in with, our die as well. Let's show the die. So just bring that one out. So taking that out, now it's quite an intricate die, look at that. I mean, beautiful in its own right anyway, but then to be able to emboss. Now I've inked straight over the unicorn. What about inking your folder first? So with the inks that we've got, I'm just feeling my folder. So if you put your hands on both sides, and I always tell people to open both sides, not feel one and then the other, because then sometimes you don't really know. But if you literally wipe across, you can feel one side is risen, so you've got all lumps and bumps, and this side you can feel the texture, but it's indented, so it's quite smooth over the top. So this is the side that's going to be your front. And the reason I say that is because you want the side that's raised to be pushing through to create that embossing. So that's going to go on top of that embossing. So we want to ink on this side. So I'm just going to use my blue, and I'm going to apply this directly to my folder. So you can see when we rub that on, I'm just doing small circular motions. And what this will do is it will catch onto the flat side.
Yeah.
So you can see it's not going into the indentations there. And then all you're going to do is line this up. So just like you're going to line this up along the bottom onto here. So I'm lifting it up so I can see exactly where it's going to go. And it doesn't matter if it's slightly out, it's just going to create that nice raised effect. So there we go, that's all in there. So I'm going to hold that down while I just press that into place. And then we're going to run that through. Now, because we're doing a 3D embossing, the same as we did with the unicorn, we've got our plastic shim, magnetic, your card and your paper, and then your top plate over the top. And then that one is just going to be offered into the mouth of your machine and run through. So that's going to do all the work for you, but this time it's going to detail that die cut and also do you know what? So silly. I've done a real rookie mistake there.
Oh, it's beautiful beginnings though.
Yes, so I did it thinking I was putting a whole piece of card through. It's not really going to touch it very much because it's going to go on the outside, but actually it's going to do the edges for us.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I mean? So if I put one piece through, look at that. Now that's come off there. It's just snapped a little bit there, but I'm not worrying about it. But that is quite incredible because what it's done is it's edged. So it's a happy mistake. I am just going to put a little bit of tape on the back there, just to hold that together, and then I will show it to the front of the camera so you can see a bit better. There we go, easily fixed. So if I bring that in, look how amazing that looks. Look at those toadstools, that looks incredible.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
I know.
Oh,
How
producer
nice
Nicola
is that?
prefers that as well.
So I feel like
Yeah.
that's that's one of those happy accidents which gives you like the illusion of a colour around the edges. So if you was, and what I will do, I will show you what I mean by a letterpress, because if I then just put a little bit more ink, just putting it all down that side, and then I will put in a whole piece of card, which is, as it went through, I thought, oh, I've done a rookie mistake there, because actually it's not going to do what I want it to do. So this time, without cutting it out, we're then going to do the same technique, but what's going to happen now is around the outside of the image, where that one just caught the image, it's going to create that blue around the edge, which creates this beautiful effect. There we go, that's better, look at that. So you've got that, but actually, we could then put that over the top and create a 3D effect. So something caught here that doesn't, no, it's not that, there it is, it's that bit that had caught there. So we're going to place that over the top. That goes there, that goes there, and that goes there. So you can actually create an even more 3D image by placing it over the top and then having that outline around.
Very cool.
So yeah, so there's different ways that you can do that. So that's your letterpress one. So we've got our inking over the top, letterpress onto there. Then we've got our, we didn't do the 2D ones, did we? So let's do the 2D ones. Now they have a completely different fold combination. Really difficult one actually, Ben, because you have to have your top plate and your bottom plate.
Oh, can you say that again? I didn't quite get that.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, just your base cutting plate and your top cutting plate.
Ah.
Yeah. Sandwich between the two. Now, if you like to have a bit more of a deeper embossing, which I do, I like to put in my metal shim. So that's the additional. You don't need it, but I think it just adds a bit more crisp effect. So we are just going to add that in. You should have a metal shim with your Gemini plates. If you don't, or your Gemini, you need a new one, you can just use another piece of paper and a piece of card and it will do the same thing. So I'm going to take that one out and we're going to put that one in as well. So that's going to give me both of those done. So nice and easy. And then if we look at this one, which is your black card, we've got that beautiful, oh, you can't really see it on there. So if I turn it round so you can pick that up, we're just going to bring that up. There we go. But just sort of just about see that. But because you can't see a lot of it, it is the Ace of Spades.
The Ace of Spades.
The Ace of Spades.
Is that Gilding Wax going to go on there?
Yes,
We've got that
Gilding
on the
Wax going to
show.
go on there. Yes, we certainly do. Yes, Gilding Wax for me is a must-have. And don't think, I mean, I'm doing it on black card because it really shows well. But actually, you can use this over anything you want. If I wanted to use it over this part here, I can literally apply that over my leaves. And all that's going to do is give me this beautiful effect over white on there, which is lovely. If I turn that round so you can see that a bit better. So even just a little bit on there, can you see? Look at that. I mean, and that looks lovely in itself. But on black, it does look amazing. So we're going to take a really light touch and just place that onto that beautiful embossed detail. And less is more with Gilding Wax. So you want to just put on a little bit at a time and just apply that to where you want it. And then we can do the edges. So just a little bit on there, got a bit too much. There we go. And if it goes over, Ben, because this sometimes happens, like here, just go over it all. Because what will happen, it'll give this sort of hazy effect. But just still keep that really light touch.
Hi to Carol, who says that's a really cool effect. Jane, your joke tonight, thank you. Hey Ben, why did the bike fall over? Because it was too tired. Hey. And Al's haircut update, number 2, sides and back short on top, beard tidied up, but keep the length, eyebrows shaved. Or all off the eyebrows.
All works. Full works.
And Al also says, old MacDonald's son has joined the army. He's called E.I.G.I. Joe.
So, yeah, I mean, it literally goes over my head most of the time.
Do you know what? A mate of mine has just become the new boss at old MacDonald's farm. Yeah, he's the CIEIO. CIEIO. Oh dear, oh dear. Firing back with a joke of my own.
I do find, the thing is, I find him funny and I find you funny, so we're all in good company.
We are, we are.
There are some jokes that I don't get.
Yes.
Because I'm, funny enough, even though I giggle a lot, I am one of these people that I'm not very good with comedians. Because
Chameleons?
Comedians.
Oh.
Because I'm a bit too serious for a comedian, like stand-up comedy. Because I'm the person that will go, well, that would never happen.
Ah, right. You take the joke like literally kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And now I'll go, it's a joke.
It's a joke, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but...
Oh, dear.
Not always, because I do find a lot of things funny. I'm more of a silly joke person. I like silly jokes, but yeah.
We've got 13 questions now lined up for
lovely.
our Essentials Corner. And just to say, there are 15 more template libraries before the price goes up. 15 more. That is amazing, Debbie. I love that.
Yeah, so
Incredible.
nice, isn't it? So it's just a really simple way of embossing black card using your gilding wax, and it looks incredible. And then if I show you this one, this is amazing because this is just a 2D folder, but look at that. I mean, it's so lovely. Yeah. And if you've got your alcohol markers, you can colour onto that as well. So, yeah, it's just a really nice way to be able to do a simple background. And that's the thing with embossing. If you are new to embossing, all these different techniques are so simple, but they make you look like a really experienced crafter. And you'll really enjoy using them and trying all these different techniques. And this is literally a snippet of what you can do with embossing folders.
That bundle is available for the Embossing Starter Kit. Do you know what? We're going to have a little craft together after this short break, and I was going to do some colouring with the unicorn, but I now kind of feel that I want to emboss the unicorn in black and then put some gilding wax on it.
Oh, I love that idea.
Because I've never really used, well, I have used a bit of gilding wax before, but I just want to see like how that would look. Because like you say, quick, easy card, then a little sentiment.
Looks amazing.
I was thinking maybe black onto some pink.
Yes.
Because black and pink are nice, aren't they?
Yeah, black and pink's lovely.
Onto a card.
Love that.
Maybe. I might do that because that'd be quicker. Because if I colour, we'll be here till Beautiful Beginnings next Wednesday. So I think I can probably do gilding wax quicker. I'll have to borrow yours though if I do.
Yeah, that's fine.
What are you going to do in our little...
I have no idea. I really don't have an idea of what I'm going to do at all. So
okay.
whatever you choose, I'll then just choose something different.
Okay. Well, we'll just have a bit of a craft along using elements from the Embossing Starter Kit, the die kit, and of course the stamping kit. Hi to Barbara R. Hi also to Al again. He says, love the card, cool effect, and I think the gilding wax on the leaves would be great for a winter effect.
Yes.
I love the way that Al's like sensing the jokes and he's all very sensible all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know. He gets really into his crafting.
Yeah.
He loves the crafting, yeah. And I'll show him something and he'll say, oh, could you do that to it? Or add this to it? And like, yeah, he's good like that.
Yeah. And in all seriousness as well, there's from me going silly to serious, the template library, if you want that, the best price with the 30 off, we have 15 left of those, okay?
Oh, die brush. Where's my die brush?
It's Beautiful Beginnings, remember? You don't hammer it on the... so if you want that template library, 15 chances left to get it at that best price, and then the price will go back up. So if it's in your basket, get it checked out in this show. If you're thinking about doing it, you need to be one of the next 15, because after that, you will have to pay the price that it's supposed to be at. So we'll have a break, we'll come back, we'll do a bit of crafting together in a minute, so that'll be fun. We'll see you in a moment.
Here because I do love Crafters Companion products and Crafters TV.
Your products are great, made with great care and thought, and are second to none.
Love all the products. I love the tutorials we get.
Your papers shimmer and make all our crafts shine.
I love all of the products and all of the paper pads, of course.
I love Crafters TV because it shows you the best tips and tricks on how to use your crafty stash.
The quality of the products are phenomenal. Value for money is exceptional.
Amazing presenters, craft goods galore, launch days and craft vaults, deals bundles and more.
Your pens, pencils, and markers make all crafters say, they are mine.
Or I love Crafter's Companion. Well, it's because I'm not a very good crafter, and Crafter's Companion makes me look better.
Come in, check my emails, then lay the shows out in the studio, set pack shots up. Then I will get new polls, pick shows, solve any problems that need solving. We deal with other teams where we receive marketing suites, we receive boards. We pick samples to send to Hobby Maker. We pick samples to send to QVC. We will take the previous shows out of the studios, set the new shows up. We do floor manage occasionally, not all the time, making sure that the craft expert presenters have everything at hand that they need. Anything that they haven't got during shows, we will run about and get the products for them. Think on a morning when it's really quiet, I can get more done when there's nobody else in the building. Night owl. Morning. Coffee on a morning, tea the rest of the day. Savoury. Normally lunchtime. Craft along. Mobile phone. Christina's chicken wrap. Barry White, you're my first, my last, my everything. Go home and make the tea.
Hi, my name is Sherry Jackson, and I have been a fan of Crafter's Companion for at least 7 or 8 years now. I love Crafter's TV. I mean, what's not to love about it? They've got great products, great prices, great people that work there for them. The customer service is great. The presenters are great. Demonstrators are great. Everyone there is great. I just love all the products. I love the tutorials we get. I love all the demonstrations, the craft-alongs, the master classes. Not only do you sell the products, but you teach everyone how to use it. I love the interaction on Crafter's TV. I love the fun, the game, the prizes. There's just so much about Crafter's TV. There's nothing not to love about Crafter's TV. You guys have been there for me. I feel like you guys are my family. I'm widowed and live alone, and every day I look forward to watching Crafter's TV, whether I watch it live or whether I go back and watch the reruns. I get so much inspiration and tips and tricks from everyone there at Crafter's Companion, and I love all of you, and I'm so thankful for Crafter's TV.
Hello, welcome back everybody to Beautiful Beginnings. Have you got your template library yet? Please, if you've got it in your basket, get it checked out. We've got 43 minutes left on the show. Oh, Susie says, can you show the different colours of gilding wax? I've got 2 of the golds here actually. So this one is King.
What colours do we have in stock though?
Oh, I know what we've got in stock, so I wrote it down.
Oh, okay.
We've got, so we haven't got King, lol. We've got Antique, Empire, Renaissance and Silver. So this one, I think that one is, oh dear. Antique, that one. I think I haven't got the others over here. So that's obviously Antique. That's obviously Silver. Have you got the Renaissance and Empire over there?
I think this is Renaissance. Yes, that's Renaissance. So that is like the bronze one.
Right.
But that's all I've got here.
Okay, and there's obviously Empire.
Empire Gold is, oh, this might be Empire Gold. Oh no, that's King Gold.
Yeah, I've
it's
got
very
King.
similar.
Yeah.
Empire Gold is my favourite. So I would say anyone that wants to go for 3 different ones, I would go for the Renaissance, the silver, and the either King Gold or Empire Gold.
And this is Empire. Oh yeah,
yes,
it is very similar to King.
Yeah, more of a pretty gold.
Yeah. So yes, those are on the show, so grab them if you can. I love CC, says Tara. Thank you for all the bargains recently. While my bank balance does not, thank you. I do very much. Beautiful Debbie, says Jane. I love that. Ace, says Carol. Oh, the ace of spades. In black and gold. Very pretty, you say. So we're just going to have a bit of a crafty doodah now, really, for the next like 15 minutes or so before your questions. So I'm going to do a bit over here. And Debbie's going to do a bit. Have you decided what you're going to do, Debbie?
I think so. I think I've got a little bit of a plan. Yes, I think so.
I'm going to... So I was going to emboss the unicorn from the embossing kit and then colour it, but I then saw Debbie do her thing with the ace of spades. The ace of spades. And I thought, oh, I'd quite like to have a go. Because Beautiful Beginnings, and I don't think I've ever... Well, I've had a go with Gilding Wax before, but never properly. So I thought, I'm just going to emboss the unicorn onto some black and then use some of the Gilding Waxes and then just create a little card, a few mats and layers. It won't be anything special, but I thought I'd just have a bit of a go, you know. So that's what I'm going to do. Got all these pens in, I don't need them now. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So... What are you going to do? Have you decided?
Well, I'm just trying to think of my card concept because I wanted to do I wanted to use the die cuts.
Oh, right.
So I'm just trying to work out in my head how I can use the edgeables that were in the die cut one because I love these modern mosaics. So yes, I'm going to be using these. So I'm trying to think of a card that I can use or do to use them on. Oh, are we starting? Are you started?
Well, it's not a race, is it? I'm just going to...
No, I know it's not a race. I just didn't know we were starting yet.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Okay, so we can start whenever we're ready. This is cool.
Yeah.
I like this. Right, I'm going to bring in my Ultimate Pro, and I think I'm just going to I'm thinking of like a fold-back card. So we want to go in a half-fold A4.
Right.
And then I want to fold that back, but... I think I want to put my die on there.
The ace of spades. That's all I've got going through my head now. The ace of spades.
Let's put it there.
I'm not actually a massive Motorhead fan, no. But you know when you get a song stuck in your head?
Right.
Do you know what I had in my head earlier on before this show?
No.
And I don't know why. It was a song that goes, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake.
Shake
your booty. Shake your booty.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake.
Beautiful beginners, people, just to show you, sorry, look at me. So this is the 3D embossing folder, isn't it? Right.
I love that. Look at me.
Beautiful beginners, this is a 3D embossing folder, right, Debbie? So yep. I'm correct that this just goes through my Gemini MIDI as is.
I know. How amazing is that? That is so, so good. Right, so I've just created half a fold card and then I've just done my score lines down each side. And then I'm going to hold it into place because I want this beautiful border. So we're going to put a bit of tape.
Can you see that?
Like,
I like. That? Can you? I can't really see that.
It's hard on the black.
Yeah.
But it will be revealed, yes.
That's a brilliant emboss on the MIDI, that, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Very good. Very good. Right, I'm going to start with some embossing on that. Not embossing, gilding wax.
So I've just put my main die, I've put the bigger one of the modern mosaics in, and we just put that down the front of our card. I was going to do a fold back card, but now I'm thinking I'm going to just, actually, now I've got something else in my head. Let's see if that works. So I'm actually thinking we could fold it back, so let's just take that off. Yeah, I'm just trying to do a different style of card, but...
I'm not going quick. No, Debbie, like, you think I'm going quick, but it would take me ages in a minute to, like, cut my mats and layers and stuff, and this would take me ages, and it doesn't matter if I finish first, because it's not, like, it's not a race, is it?
No, not at all.
No, there's no pressure on Debbie.
No, because I can finish afterwards. It doesn't matter. So
Debbie, can I ask a question? I know you're doing something different.
That's
so
okay.
I'm obviously... so I'm getting a bit of gilding wax out,
Yep.
and then you guys just dab on your mat, don't you, like that, just to take
Well,
the
I
excess off?
don't. I don't
you
like
don't?
getting a messy mat.
So I don't need to do that then?
So I just do it on the sides. So with this, it's just a tiny bit in the middle that I really wish I'd just die cut twice or put it through and then reversed it, and then that would have die cut beautifully. But I'm just poking out these little pieces here. So a tool brush is always a good thing to have. Not a tool brush, a pokey tool is
Nicola
always good.
is just asking, can we come up, because we might make this regular, a name for this particular segment where I craft along with Debbie, but we're doing sort of different projects.
Have we done a crafty corner before?
Oh, crafty corner's nice. Or what did you say?
BBB?
Ben's Beautiful Beginnings, but Debbie's also crafting. Maybe Beginner Buddies.
Beginner buddies. Oh, I love that. That's good. Beginner buddies.
Whilst Debbie's just speaking, so I've just used the antique gold there to do my flowers at the bottom. And now I'm going to add... What I think I might do... Would this work, do you think, Debbie? Right, so I've gone like with that colour gold there. Then I'm going to do different colour gold for the unicorn's mane. But then I was thinking the face and the actual horn in silver. Will that work?
Yes.
Gold and silver?
Yeah.
That'll be all right? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with
absolutely. Gilding wax. So can I just tell you, gilding waxes blended together work brilliant.
Right, so if
you could blend all three of the different colours together and they would look amazing.
Right, so the pressure's off me now then. So if I accidentally go a bit of the silver into the gold, it's not going to look rubbish.
Yeah, not at all.
Okay.
And if you go a bit heavy-handed, my other tip with gilding wax is just put more on.
Like that I've just done there. Like
Yeah, that's fine. So if you're going to do that, really blend it in and then just add more on because it'll still look amazing.
Okay. I am living everybody's dream. Yeah, because I can just then craft and then ask Debbie questions as I go. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm just going to add more on. I have a very silver horse. Silver unicorn. Actually, I quite like that.
So I've just trimmed my card down, so I've got this piece on the front of our card. And then I thought I would use this cardstock on the inside. And actually, I'm going to add a touch of black, I think, if we've got enough. There's not a lot of black card in the studio. So I'm going to bring all the
I nicked a bit. Do you want some? I've got more black over here if you want it.
We've got enough scrap. In fact, that bit I think is just the perfect size. Look at that. In fact, I'm going to turn it round. Yeah, it is the perfect size. So I'll put it that side. So, yeah, that's cool. But I'm going to put the blue over the top of it. So we're going to cut the blue down to that size. I like this, like wing it demos, but actually making something really cool.
Yeah.
With unbelievably good offers.
Yes, unbelievably good offers. That is beginner buddies for you.
I think beginner buddies should have a really good value segment every time.
I think we should as well.
Yes.
We'll speak to Big Pop about it and see what his take is. See how he feels the segment goes. Oh, I'm actually quite liking this.
Yeah, it's always a good way with gilding wax, Ben. It's better if you put bigger bits on, then just put more on.
And what I've done with mine, so I went a little bit over with like my unicorn like horn, but what I then did, I sort of went with it and I've added like a bit of the gilding wax to the top there, so it like looks like it's like in motion a little bit. So
like
it's fine.
that.
I'm just vibing with it.
Yeah,
I'm vibing.
always go lightly over the other areas and then it doesn't notice so much.
No.
So I'm just putting blue onto the black here.
This is so cool. Do you know what I love about this is like the way like it just like the picture appears. It's like I'm going to buff it in a minute. Yeah, don't you worry about that. They call me Buff Ben.
Buff Ben.
I mean, no, they don't. That
do they,
weird.
Ben?
No, they don't.
Do they?
I mean, you know what I mean.
Oh, Ben's buff.
He's buff, isn't he? Buff Ben.
Buff Ben. Buff Ben 10.
Buff Ben 10. I think I've probably got enough on there, like a little bit more. Smells nice as well, doesn't it? Smells really nice.
Yeah, it does smell nice. Right, so I think our other scraps here.
Miss, what do I buff it
onto
with?
The other side. What was that?
What do I buff it with?
A piece of kitchen towel. I'll bring you over a piece.
I'll come over, it's fine.
I'm on my way.
Let's meet in the middle, cause Jamie a problem.
Yeah, Jamie, I'm like, where do I go? buff, 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 buff.
Buff your
Buff the
unicorn.
gilding.
Buff your
the
unicorn.
gilding.
Oh, I actually really like this. Buff, buff, buff. Buff, buff, buff. Buff your
the
unicorn. Buff your unicorn.
Right, so we'll do that 1, 2, 3.
Oh!
Is it good?
I really like it. Oh, sorry, you've gone there. I'll go there.
Done it the wrong way, didn't I? It needs to take.
Look at
Oh, look at that.
Ready?
That's amazing. Oh, that's a bit small, that piece. That's oh, I've got another piece here.
I'm actually quite pleased with that.
Another
Oh,
piece.
man.
So this one will be 6.
Yeah, it's quite grunge. That's what I was going for. Grunge.
Is it a buff unicorn now?
Grungy unicorn. Quite like that.
I like. Oh, that's good. I've got a split screen like that.
I didn't even notice.
Jamie's on it. He's on it. Right. So, haven't even started anything yet, apart from the card. I need to do some stamping, I think.
There's comments coming through. Let's have a look. I love watching Ben craft this, Hilary. Thank you. Crafting buddies, says Rebecca. I like that. CTV, Ben and Debbie, I've been hoping to learn about the gilding waxes. I have some on the way, says Susie Moore.
Oh, amazing. You'll love them. And also, Susie, don't forget you can put them on anything. But just remember to buff them, because if you don't buff them, they will transfer onto clothing, onto your skin, and your skin, you can wash them off, but on your clothing, it's going to be really hard to get off.
Oh, okay, that's a good tip.
Yeah, so make sure you buff it, because when you buff it, it makes it then non-transferable.
Right.
Right, so I've done my card then. I'm just going to now do some die cutting to decorate.
Okay.
So let's use this one. And actually, I think we can use one of those stamps. Yes. Ah, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use, where's a rocker block when you need one?
Where is a pesky rocker block?
I'm going to use that heart that I used earlier, and we're going to make some backgrounds on there. But let's just do this, and then we can, yes, let's do a white.
Presenters Playtime is the name of the feature. Dawn, Barry. I like that. Presenters Playtime. What do you think of that, Debbie?
Yeah, I like it. Yes. I like all your suggestions. They're all good.
Oh, I need the bigger guillotine.
Do you want my one?
It's all right. I can move it. Isn't it fun? Like, just, I mean, I know I'm not that brilliant, and I realise that, but I just enjoy like having a play. And doesn't the time go quicker? Like,
Yes,
when
it
you're
probably
crafting?
does. What is the time?
31.
Oh, look at the time. We've got to get all your questions in yet as well.
And there's tons of questions to tackle as well.
I love that we've got loads of questions, so thank you for sending your questions in. I've actually lost, there it is, lost me tape. I think this is probably one of the most fun, beautiful beginnings we've had.
I agree.
And I love that we're coming up with a new name for our new segment. I mean, I think if we've got away with our 60-minute deals twice on the trot from Johnny.
If we've what?
If we've got away with our 60-minute deals twice on the trot with Johnny, I think he might go for this segment.
Do you think? Another bit of white card, I think, behind that.
Right, so we've got that there, and then I'm thinking, let's take one of these sentiments. My heart is and will always be yours. How nice is that? I read that totally wrong. My heart is and always will be yours.
Yours.
Just a note, sending love. Yeah, let's have that one. I like that one. Jane Austen.
Jane Austen said that.
Jane Austen apparently said that. Right, don't need to worry about where that's been placed, because we are just going to pick that up. So the good thing about a rocker block is you have a line in the middle, so I can line that up to know that that's straight. And then I'm going to use the ink pad that's come with this, which is the rustic brown. And then we're just going to make sure there's plenty of ink on there. And then we're going to use those rocker blocks to rock away.
I feel like I want one more like matte and layer colour, but I don't know what colour. So I've got, I've got like white, pink, white and then black, but I feel like I need something else underneath that white.
Nice. Oh yes, you do.
What colour?
I reckon like a silver. I know what you could do. Have another piece of black card and then put silver gilding wax around the outside.
Yes.
Or gold gilding wax around the
Yes,
outside.
I love that idea.
Yes.
So now I've just got to remember the measurements here. So that was 4.5 by 6.5. So that would be 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, correct?
There you go, well done.
By 4, oh, just enough there, I think, as well. Oh, I love that idea. You see, that's brilliant that you're here, because I wouldn't have done that otherwise. So then just like edge it with a little bit of silver, do you think?
Yeah, do
Or
exactly
gold.
the same thing, but do it around the edges. Do both. Do a mixture all around the edges.
What, a bit of silver?
Bit of silver, bit of gold, bit of silver. Put in just sporadic around the edges. And do it so that a quarter of an inch increments, can't see.
So like across the edge like that, or do you mean like...
Yes, that's it. Just do it all round, not right, that's it, onto the cardstock.
Onto the edge like there?
Yes, no, onto
there?
it, yes.
But it doesn't need to be neat then, no?
No, not at all. Do quite a nice big line, so it covers that line. So it almost looks like mirror card underneath. That's it. That's it.
Right, and would you go a bit of silver and then like what, gold down the sides?
Yeah, however you want. However you want. You could carry on with a bit of silver, then do a bit of gold, then a bit of silver.
Okay.
Right, before I put this on, so this will go here, I'm going to actually use, so I'm going to turn that upside down, so that would be about there, and then I'm going to use that little heart die to put some hearts in the background. So, and these should look quite quirky because we've got textured cardstock. So we're going to just add them. In fact, it doesn't matter if some of them aren't showing completely. Oh, I love this little heart stamp. This might be my new favourite little heart stamp. It's from the, it's from this one, the Photopod, the You Are Pawsome. Yeah, love it.
I'll mix it up a bit now, that doesn't matter, does it? Oh, Debbie's suggestion was to mix it up. That's good. By the way, we're massively running out of time to do the questions. I'm just putting that out there. Okay. I'm going to just hurry up a bit here.
I've just got one more. There we go. And then I'm going to pop mine on. So that will go into the middle section there.
To make that a bit more sort of grungy. Yeah, quite like that.
There we go. I'm going to leave it at that.
Have you done yours?
Finished.
Right, hang on. I'll tell you what, if you want, we can have like a little quick break whilst I stick this together and then I can show you over at Essentials Corner. You want to do that?
Let's do it.
Fine. So we'll do that. And then, oh yeah, that's gonna look really cool. Let me stick it together whilst we have a quick break, and then I'm not gonna have time to cut my sentiment, but it doesn't matter. And then we've each done a little project. We'll meet you over there in Essentials Corner in just a second and answer your questions.
My favourite part is the interaction we can have with the lovely presenters.
The laughter and the giggles and the dressing up and the jokes.
Really fun and really good, and sometimes the only laugh you will get when you're not feeling well.
The personal connection with the presenters and the demonstrators.
The inspiration and clear instruction is patiently presented.
I love everyone that I have come to know on Crafters TV.
Well, we got two comedians, Dan and Craig. They're not comedians really, they're brilliant.
Presenters are great. Demonstrators are great.
Number one is the enjoyment I get from watching Ben and all of the demonstrators making the projects.
You are all so down to earth and genuine people, always willing to share and help.
Personal connection with everyone that's involved in Crafters TV.
For me, they have become my friend, creating a personal connection and making you feel part of a crafting family.
and get me a chuckle. It just feels like you're right there in my living room.
What I love most about Crafters TV is the community. I feel like I'm crafting along with my friends. And there's so much support, respect, and inspiration all through the socials. Be it on CTV, Facebook, or YouTube, everyone is so supportive and I've learned so much. Most of all is the good times and lots of laughs which have gotten me through some tough days. So lots of love, my crafty friends, and to the CC team. Thank you and keep up the good work. What I love most about Crafters TV is the community.
Crafters TV brings everyone together from different corners of the world.
It also connects you with people from all over the world.
You guys have been there for me. I feel like you guys are my family.
I feel like I'm crafting along with my friends.
I met some of my best friends for life from Crafters TV, so thank you very much.
When you're having a tough time, you can switch on Crafters TV and you can go on the live chat, and you know people will be there for you as well.
And there's so much support, respect, and inspiration all through the socials.
It's a place where we can all share our love for Crafters Companion, ideas, and get inspiration from each other.
So what's not to love about Crafters TV? So go make a coffee and pull up a chair. Let's all get crafting. I'll see you all there.
Hi, good to see you. Just polishing my card. You can. It's not actually really pleased with that. It's a bit wonkily stuck together because I was rushing a bit, but where do you want it? Two. There's my card.
Ben, that's amazing.
That's all right, isn't it?
It's more than all right. That is incredible.
Just needs a little sentiment on it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So nice.
Thank you. I love Gilding. Show us yours again as well for people who didn't see. Gilding Wax is fun to
nice
work
and
with.
simple. So yeah, but you can see it's just a case of having a play. Whatever you've bought today, if you are platinum, I think £65 we said you can get all 3 of those bundles for, which is incredible. But that's just using the papers in those bundles, the die cuts in them, the stamps in them. So we've done a bit of everything there apart from embossing. So I hope you've really enjoyed that, because we really enjoyed that segment, didn't we?
We absolutely did, and we're going to put it to the bosses to see if we can potentially make that like a little regular feature within.
I love that. I think you've done a really, really good job of that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's really nice. Especially those the edging looks good.
Yeah. Making moments, says Marshall, we could call it, or making moments count. Kirsty D says, Ben, we could call the segment "If I Can Do It, You Can Too."
Yes.
I like that. I like to see you both craft, says Doreen. Call it, Zoe says, crafting off the hoof. That's a good one. And what else have we got here? Stunning, Ben. Very nice, Ben. Great job. The horn of the unicorn looks like it has some movement in it. Love it, says Carol. Ben and Debbie, I've been hoping to learn more about the Gilding Waxes. I have some on the way, says Susie. Well, it's been fun, that. We've enjoyed that little section. And we now have 15 questions.
15. Oh, I'll try and answer them quickly.
Well, not too quickly, because then we'll be twiddling our thumbs. Try and do it in 19 minutes.
OK, 19 minutes.
Ben, says Helen, question for Debbie. I've received their Bohemian Dreams 3D embossing folder and die, but I'm not sure how it works, i.e. emboss, then die, or the other way round. Please, can Debbie tell me?
So I think you would, if it's a die cut, you'd die cut it, then put it in the embossing, and then you would emboss it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what it was.
Well, it's the one, it's like the ones that we got in the kit.
So it is like that.
Yeah.
So yes, so you would die cut it, then put it in the embossing folder, emboss it. So the best way to do it, actually, I didn't do it when I did the demo because of the ink on the inside of the folder, but if there's no ink on the folder, it's best to hold it up to the light, to a window, and position the die underneath the front piece.
Right.
And then that way you can see exactly where it's going to emboss down. But yes, die cut and then emboss. Because if you emboss and then die cut, it will flatten the emboss. Yeah.
Lynn. Lovely Lynn Bledsoe, who's one of our craftimonials. She says, Debbie, I know that you can sand the paper after embossing,
Yep.
but are there any other techniques that where you would use a sanding technique? So anywhere else you would use a sanding
Yeah,
block?
absolutely. I love a sander. I think it's really good for distressing papers in general. So distressing the edges of your paper, crimpling them up is a really good way to do it. And actually, talking about sort of sanding, sandpaper is a really good medium to die cut and to emboss, and then sand that down, because that has this texture on it which is really cool, and you can ink that as well, so that's really cool. But yeah, you can sand lots of things down, so if you've got die cuts, you can sand them down. You just have to be gentle, because cardstock can pull apart quite easily.
And if you were sanding other cardstock, would you get the best results out of similar? Because not all cardstock has a coloured core, does it?
No. So if it's got the same colour core, it wouldn't work.
Right.
But if you've even glitter cardstock and mirror cardstock have a white core. So sanding them back, even though you're still sanding the glitter away, you'll still see the glitter around it. Just gives it a more distressed edge. So yeah, just have a play with sanding back all sorts of cardstock and paper and see what results you get. And I think you'll be quite happy with them.
There's some brilliant questions coming in tonight. Thank you as well. Jan's just messaged me to say that the viewers loved you both creating, and lots of love for both cards. So that's lovely. You know, we will definitely look at doing it again next week. If you enjoyed it, we will definitely do it.
Oh, Dee Rob's in next week. She'll love that.
She will. She will. I love it. I love crafting with our guys, and I feel very privileged to be able to craft with the likes of the Debbies and Craig. So I don't take it for granted, because I know a lot of you are like, oh, he gets all the good jobs, doesn't he? He just prattles on every day. Cracks a few jokes, then he gets to craft with some of the best crafters around. I feel very lucky. Don't you worry about that. Elizabeth has got a good question. Thank you, Elizabeth Taylor. She says, hello, I have a question. She says, I've got some double-sided adhesive sheets to try and some adhesive dots.
Right.
What is she using them for? She doesn't really know.
So adhesive sheets are brilliant, especially for die cutting. So even though we have our dotted tape pen, they're really good to die cut, because you can, and I'll tell you a really good way that you can use your adhesive sheets. If you die cut the opposite way, so if you die cut with your adhesive sheet on the top and then take the adhesive layer off, you can then apply your gilding flakes, your glitters, your pearl powders, anything like that you can apply to the top of your die cuts. So that's a really good way of using your adhesive sheets for the top of them. If you use them the top and the bottom of your card, then you've got an adhesive die cut. So you can make all your die cuts into stickers.
Oh, nice.
So that's a really nice way of doing it. So, but yeah, definitely use them for your gilding flakes, your pearl powders and your glitters, because they're brilliant. But you put them on top of your cardstock, then die cut on top of that, and then just use your pokey tool to take off the carrier sheet.
Handy stuff.
Oh, and what was the other thing?
Oh, yes, the adhesive dots.
And the adhesive dots. So adhesive dots actually are really quite clever as well, because if you put them onto your, you can have faux gems. So you can actually put your adhesive dots onto like corners of your card, add your glitters, pearl powders, gilding flakes, but also they're really good for sticking. So your dots would stick down. A lot of crafters use dots just to stick their projects down.
Elizabeth, thank you for that. Julie Statham says, hi, Ben and Debbie. Random question. I love a random question. And this is a great question, because we were only talking about this yesterday, actually, because I was the same as you, Julie, because I wasn't quite sure. What is the difference between funky foam and flower-forming foam?
So there is a difference in the depth. So funky foam is a lot more rigid. You can still die cut into funky foam, but it's more rigid, where if you cut one layer, let's just say, for instance, you had a flourish die. You could cut your flourish die onto funky foam, and that would come out still as a flourish. If you cut it into your flower forming foam, it would be very floppy, because it's a very thin foam. And the other difference is normal funky foam you can't heat. It doesn't do anything, but flower forming foam reacts to heat. So if you use your hot egg, your hot glue, not your hot glue gun, your heat tool. If you heat your heat tool and or an iron, that will react to the flower forming foam, and that will sort of shrink it and shrivel it and form it into lovely flowers. So that's really the main differences, is one you can heat, one you can't, and one's thicker, the other one's thinner.
Other questions we have from Jane. Jen Adams, do you have to use a fan brush when you use the pearl powders?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I do mine a little bit different to the guys. A lot of people, because it's a fan brush, think you should sweep it, which is nothing wrong with that. I feel like that takes a lot more off than what you're getting on in the first place. So I like to dab mine before sweeping it. So yes, the fan brush I think is an absolute must-have. And if you haven't got a fan brush, you could cut one of your sort of your flat end brushes to more of a bristle brush and dab it in, but definitely fan brush for your pearl powders, and dab, and then sweep, so you know that the sticky has got as much of that pearl powder before you wipe it off.
Now, Catherine, this is not, you say this sounds stupid, but it doesn't. Well, let's ask the question. She says, where do I start? This is Catherine. She says, I've purchased everything for this craft, yet I failed to make a card. She says, I get inspired, then I fail. She says, I know I'm trying to run before I walk. Please help. So Catherine's obviously bought a lot of our goodies, but she's sort of finding it hard to get started. What would your suggestion be?
So, Catherine, please don't despair, because we have so much education on air. Even when we're not doing our live shows, that education stays on YouTube, it stays on Facebook. So just go back and research. And honestly, all you have to do, especially on YouTube, go on, type in Crafter's Companion, and then whatever you've bought, type that in after Crafter's Companion, and that will bring up so many different videos for you to know where to start. My other biggest tip for you, I know it's a little bit of a sort of a considered purchase, but if you could go for the template library, everything that you have bought, regardless of paper pads, dies, embossing, will work with that, and that will make your project for you and hopefully inspire you to then use whatever you've bought to use on it. So yeah, that's my biggest tip. The template library is an absolute game changer in bringing your mojo back to life, and then you can use everything that you've bought. But yeah, please do go and research Crafter's Companion and then whatever you've bought, because we don't just, you know, that's the one thing that that's the main thing why I love working for Crafter's Companion, is because we hold your hand every step of the way. Education is
what
there,
we do,
isn't it? Yeah.
And like
absolutely.
you say, like just pick, you know, if you've got a particular range or whatever, just get that show and then pick a project with one of the guys, and you know, you can pause it, can't you? You don't have to do it live.
Yep,
you can just do
absolutely.
the first little bit, pause it, do the next little bit, pause it, and very soon I think you'll get the hang of it and just enjoy it. I think I find sometimes that you know, people message and they get very stressed with crafting. It should be an enjoyable experience.
And I totally get it, Ben, because that's how I used to feel years ago, but we didn't have the education then.
No.
So I used to feel like it's all very well someone's selling me something, but then I got it home and thought, what do I do with this? I can't remember what she did, and I thought, I remember something, she made a lovely card with it, but I don't remember what it was. But now is different, because we can go and research it, we can go onto YouTube, Facebook, and we can find what we're looking for, and even watch back to when that show was. And I would also say keep a diary, Ben, of the show. So if you've bought something from a particular show, write on the back of it what the date of that show was that you bought it from, because one of us would have inspired you that day to buy that. So go back and watch that show again.
Template library is still available on the show at that fantastic price if you want it. Janet Youch says, is the pencil blending solution only for wax pencils?
Yes, I've never used it for anything else. Wax pencils, it's perfect for. I don't know what else you would use it on. So yeah, I would say only wax pencils.
Hilary has a question. Hilary says, can you put the smaller templates from the template library through your Gemini rather than drawing like a stencil?
Yeah, absolutely. Debbie Robinson does it all the time. That's her preferred way. She likes to use the stencils through the Gemini. Some of them are too big, so unless you've got a Gemini Pro and you've got the 12 by 12, but all the smaller templates will absolutely go through there. So I always think the lights are too bright to be able to see the lines, so I quite like to be able to draw around them. But yes, absolutely, through your Gemini.
We have a question from, I've got a question from Jamie, I'll save that, but if we've got time at the end. Pat says, I've been having trouble with my G2. Is it better to put the paper below the die or above the die?
Yeah, so I am sorry for anybody that's new. This is Beautiful Beginnings, and you probably see us using the Gemini very differently to what the booklet says. And it's not that there are any rights or wrongs, it's just that with your magnetic shim, it's very easy to place your die the wrong way around and cut through your shim. And also, we have to bear in mind that your magnetic shim is just a shim. It's great for new beginners because it means that you can line up your dies, put your paper on top, you know exactly where you're going. But we tend to cut down into our paper onto our cutting sheet and then put our platforms above it. And it just means that we don't cut into our magnetic shim. So that's the only reason we do that. There are no rights and wrongs. So if you are putting all your platforms down and then your die facing up, then your cardstock on top and then your cutting plate on top, it will work exactly the same way. So there's no rights or wrongs up or down.
Stephanie, I'll ask this question, but I would refer you back to Wake Up Call, I think, this morning, because Stephanie asks, any good tips how to use the embossing boards, Debbie? She says, I can never seem to follow the correct lines.
Yeah, the best way to do it is just literally keep looking as soon as you look. So the other thing a lot of people do, and I don't know if it works, some people apply a tumble drying sheet over the top of your card. And apparently, because of what's on it, it takes the static away and puts sort of like not a greasy film, but a film over the top.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier for you to use your embossing tool. Another trick that I was told, and I have done before in the past, is just very, very slightly dilute some fabric conditioner into your spray bottle.
Right.
And then that will do the same thing. It will make your card a little bit softer, not loads. You don't want to saturate your card. It'll just stretch the fibres in your card. It won't work on coated cardstock, so like your Centura Pearl, glitter card, that sort of thing. But if it's just regular cardstock, you can give it a little spritz, and that'll make your ball tool work a bit better. But other than that, just keep moving your card over and just following the lines around. Hopefully that helps.
And that was the same sort of answer for your question, Lainey, I suppose, really, who says, I've had the Ultimate Pro for years, but have never been able to get the shapes perfect. There must be a knack, so it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, same thing, and practice, it really is practice. So practice makes a big difference when you're using the embossing balls. I remember using them years ago. My mum had them, we always used to use them, and it become sort of second nature. And especially if you know your board, that's the other thing, Ben. If you know your board, you pretty much know where your lines are going to be. But if you don't, and it's a new shape, just keep practicing and turning your card over. So, and also another little tip is don't use such heavyweight card,
right?
Because then you'll be able to find the grooves a lot better. So I would say maybe a 180 to about a 230.
Jean says, I like these questions and answers a lot. I think everyone seems to love this little section. Again, it's a nice little point to come and watch us, isn't it, on a Wednesday? 3 or 4 questions left here. Jennifer Love says, can you explain again how you do the pearl powder with the dabbing rather than the swishing with the brush? Is it a dabbing motion you do?
Yeah, just dabbing, that's all I do. So basically, you just sprinkle your little pots over whatever's sticky, and then with your brush, instead of sweeping, I literally just dab on and just go wherever the powder is until it's all filled. And I keep doing that, so you're almost pounding your powder into the stick. So whether it's tape, whether it's your translucent clear ink pad, your pigment ink pad, whatever you've put down, you're pounding those pigments in. Because if you sweep them away too quickly, all you're going to do is sweep all the colours to blend, and then they're not going to keep to their true colour. So it just makes sure that they go where they're supposed to go. So yeah, dab, 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 and all around until it fills, and then you can start to sweep it across, and then that'll shine it up a bit as well.
Tim wants to know, for the letterpress technique, which side do you need to put the ink on?
Always the front of the folder, yeah. So as soon as, and that's what I was saying about fill your folder, it's because it always has to be the front of your folder. So once it's your folder that goes over the top, it's the inside of that goes on the top. And then your embossed side, which comes through, will stay white.
Tammy says, is there a difference between heat-resistant acetate and regular acetate?
Yes, absolutely what it says. So regular acetate it's not heat proof. So if you're using your heat tool for prolonged time, for a little bit of time it will be okay, but heat proof means it doesn't warp, doesn't move, it's just perfect for heating.
Al says, is gilding wax always gold or silver, or does it come in any other colours?
Oh, it's a good question. We've never done any other colours.
No.
Ours are all metallics, basically. Sort of your bronzes, golds and your silver. So, yeah.
And final one from our Jamie, who says, if both Debbie and Ben were to have their own signature collection, what would the theme be? Dad jokes.
Ooh, yes, yours has got to be dad jokes, hasn't it? Yeah, dad jokes. What would mine be? I mean, I love flowers, so I think mine would have to be. I really do. I would love, like, a Debbie's classic rose collection.
Oh, yeah. Were you saying about a classic rose yesterday?
Yeah,
Weren't you? Not done one for ages.
I think, that I just love a classic rose. I love climbing roses. I'm thinking of sort of long-stemmed roses, that sort of thing. And maybe like books where you can, I'd quite like to see a classic rose sort of book where you can make tags out of them. So you'd have one for a tag to make maybe a card, but so you'd have a tag with a matching box and then a card that you can make, in a sort of classic rose design. So
I would have said, I would love to do like a fun, like, even if it was like a dad joke stamp set, but before we did I can't remember the name of the box now, but we had it on the other week with all the musical instruments in. I would have loved like a music collection, but we've kind of done that now. You know, we do that box, don't we, with the piano and the perfect harmony.
Yes.
I would have loved a collection like that, and now we've done it. So
yes.
thanks everyone. That's all the questions tackled.
Perfect timing.
Perfect, like we've done it before. Pamela says, wow, Ben, really great. Debbie, as always, your card beautiful. I would love to see both of you crafting in a segment way more. I love the name Making Moments. So, that's
nice
quite nice,
well.
actually, Making Moments. Yeah, we like that in the gallery as well, so maybe that's what we'll call it.
We will collect all them thoughts.
Yeah. It's been a fabulous day. Thank you so much to everybody for watching as per. Thank you to all the team. Thank you to Jan on the socials tonight. It's going to be a cracking day tomorrow. So you're in for Cartload, aren't you? It's your Cartload show.
It's my Cartload, which is going to be amazing. I'm not in for the first two shows. I have got some films I'll be about in the building. But yeah, it's going to be a cracker tomorrow.
And you will want to be in early because it's Wake Up Call with me and Sarah and then a brand new launch with Sarah in between times. That Wake Up Call show, we have got a heads up as to what's coming up in Cartload with the first chance to get a little nibble at some of the deals. We'll also be practically telling you what it's all about. We'll also be revealing a secret in that Wake Up Call show as well and giving you the first chance to get the brand new launch at 2 and then Cartload tomorrow night with me and Debbie. You will need to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun and there'll be chances for you to play a game with us to win prizes. That's what I'm going to say. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Until tomorrow, bye for now.